LeetCode Problem 424, longest repeating character replacement. So this problem gives us a string and an integer k, and basically we can choose any character in the string and change it into any other characters, right? And we can perform this operation at most k times, right? So this is where the k comes in. So our goal is to return the length of the longest substring containing the same letter, after which we perform the substitution. So for example, for this string, since we can substitute two characters, we will substitute either BB or AA, which will make all of them B's or all of them A's, which will give us the result 4, right? So that's the length of these 4 characters. For this case, since k is 1, we can only substitute one of the characters. We would change either this to an A, which will give us 4 characters A's, or we'll change this into a B, which will give us 4 character B. Either way, the output would be 4. Okay, my approach to this problem is to use a sliding window technique, but without 2 pointers, right? So I only have 1 pointer, which is I'll call it, and I'm using a map to store the characters in my window. Okay, so let's say now I have a for loop iterating through from the start of the string to the end of the string. Notice how I made it into a list so it's easier to visualize, but technically a string is just a list of characters. Okay, so first character comes in, it's an A. Alright, so this count will basically store the most character in the window. So let's say, for example, if my window were to be like this, count would be 2, right? Because the most characters is 2. The most of the same character is 2 lah. Okay, so for this instance, since my window is only 1 character long, my count would be replaced with 1, right? Which is this A. After that, I calculate whether or not this window have enough substitution to still be a valid window. So what this means will be further explained later. But if we do the math, result is 0 minus count 1. So technically this will give us -1, and -1 is less than 1. Okay, does it matter? Okay, remember we incremented A here, so it is. So now our map looks like this. After that, we increment I. Now 1. Now we're looking at A. We're looking at A, and again we have to increment basically the value, the occurrences of character in our window. Because right now our window looks like this, right? So let me just write it again. This is count basically. So we increment A, and then we see since 2 is more than 1, so count will be replaced with 2. And again, just now I forgot to increment result. Okay, and since result is now 1, minus count will still give us -1, which is less than k, so our results we can increment again. Okay, after that I becomes 2, and now we're looking at B, a new character, right? So this character, if we were to look at it like this, we would know that we need to substitute B with A for it to be a valid window, right? So I have to count my count, and since B is a new character, so we will have only 1 count in it, and since my count is more than the existing character, so the count doesn't change, it will still remain 2. So calculating this again, result minus count is still less than k, right? That means what we did is we have used up all of our substitution to make this into a valid window, right? We increment our result, it will be 3, and then we increment our pointer. So now we're looking at C, a new character again. Again, we increment it in our map. Our count does not change. And if we were to do this calculation, 3 minus 2 is 1, right? And 1 is not less than 1. So what we have to do is to remove the first character of our window. And to do this, we use the index, which is where we are currently at, and removing the result, which is the length of the current window right now. So this will bring us, so this will give us the index of the first character of the window, which in this case will be A. So if we decrement A by this, okay, for that, our window looks like this, right? Okay. Again, we increment I to 4. This time, we meet B, right? So we increment B to 2. And now that we did that, our count was still the same. If we go to count this result, 3 minus 2 is also not less than k, which is 1. So what we need to do is to actually remove the first character of our window, right, in order for our window to continue expanding. So remove the first character, be 0, it looks like this. After that, we increment I again, so now we have 5, and now we are looking at this, right? Okay, again, we calculate count, and since B now has 3 occurrences in this window, we can update our count, which means that in this window, the character uh, that appeared the most, B, appeared 3 times, right? And if we were to use result minus count, it is 0 is less than 1, so we can increment our result. That means this window is valid, right? That means after that, we increment our I again. So now we're looking at A. We count our count. Since 1 is less than 3, it does not do anything. And if we were to calculate this, 4 minus 3 is 1, and 1 is not less than k, which is also 1. So in which case, we remove our first character, in the window, which in this case will be C. After which the for loop ends, right, because we have already reached the end of the string, and we return the result, which is 4 for this example. Right, that's all I have to show. Thanks.